Hey guys, Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist doing the final video from Bali. Spent about 11 days here with some Nomad Capitalist insiders working on their Nomad plans and following up with them, seeing how much they've saved in taxes, but a lot of fun. And wanted to talk a little bit about living in Bali, specifically living in Ubud, which is a big nomad hub. Lots of digital nomads and backpackers and all sorts of remote workers, freelancers up there. I had never been there. I spent a lot of time in Jakarta before, doing research on different business ideas here in Indonesia. But this is my first time in Ubud. By no means an expert, wanted to share my thoughts. And as you know, my philosophy on where to live is a little bit different. Just went through the calendar today, found out doing about 19 countries in the first 5 months of this year. So I like to move very quickly. I like connectivity, I like efficiency, and I like value. Not necessarily cheap. I'm not looking for the lowest price. That's not the nomad capitalist approach, but we want value. And so that's the perspective that I come from. And I have to say, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with Ubud. Obviously, it is a big backpacker destination, lots of digital nomads, a lot of people who are trying to get by in $1,000 or $1,500 a month. But surprisingly westernized compared to the rest of Indonesia. I find Jakarta and quite frankly, even here on the beach, to be not nearly as developed as places like Malaysia next door. Ubud was a pleasant surprise in that regard. Obviously, a lot of westernization in Ubud. You've got a lot of cafes targeting Australians and other Westerners. We'd go to cafes as a group and see everyone on their MacBooks doing work. So definitely, the level of English is passable. It's not great. I wouldn't put it at my beloved Kuala Lumpur standards, but it's certainly passable. Plenty of stuff to do in Ubud, plenty of restaurants, trendy stuff, healthy stuff. I love the selection of green juices and smoothies. For someone who travels as much as I do, and oftentimes in emerging and frontier markets, it's nice to be able to go somewhere and feel healthy and not have to give up those healthy things that I enjoy. Transportation is one of the weak areas. I guess if you want to get a scooter, that's a good way to go. For some folks, that means adjusting to riding around in a scooter in traffic. If you're relying on taxis, which is what I normally do, I try and get taxis or Ubers, much more difficult in Ubud, so you probably need to get a scooter. And while I won't say it's cheap, I found the value to be decent. Now, we rented a whole villa outside of Ubud, and that was pretty darn expensive. But we did that because we had a number of us kind of getting together for our event. We had some clients coming, and we needed plenty of space. From talking to folks around Ubud, and we were fortunate enough to have dinner with some different nomads who were there, I think that you can live relatively nicely. And what I found to be pretty nice is in the city center, Wi-Fi is good, 4G is good. As you start to get out into the hinterlands where our villa was, even I think it was about 8 kilometers, 7 kilometers outside of the city center, speeds definitely slowed down. But if you're near the city center, speeds are excellent. Also found that while people have complained historically about co-working spaces and Wi-Fi speeds, I checked out at the behest of some of our team members, Outpost, which is a co-working space, and ran a speed test, got like 48 megs down. So was very impressed with that. So overall in Ubud, is this a place where I, as a city guy, and I, as a guy who's looking for business opportunities and who likes a go pace, is that a place I want to settle down long term? No. Is it a place where I think that you could spend a week or 2 weeks or a month detoxing and getting work done and lowering costs and kind of relaxing a little bit with meditation and yoga and all that cool stuff? Absolutely. It's a gorgeous area. I can see why people like it. It's a little bit slow for my tastes. I think that on a longer term basis, the people around, it may or may not be for you. It definitely is a more laid back scene from what I read into it. If that's not what you're trying to do, if you're trying to start Facebook, I don't know if that works for you or not. But definitely better than expected. Punches above its weight, as they say. And if you're not into the city scene, then it's probably a place that you should definitely consider checking out. So I will tell you, not a fan of Bali's beaches. Reminds me of Hawaii, all the worst parts of Hawaii and the worst parts of Southeast Asia put together, overpriced. got hit by a car, who drove off, all kinds of problems here at the beach. Ubud, on the other hand, seems much more to even my liking, and if you're into the nomad lifestyle, definitely a place that you should check out. Not the super cheapest place, but a lot of the stereotypes that I've heard are actually not true when it comes to Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So definitely check out Ubud.